Okay, this video is going to be a little different. Hey, I've been doing that here lately, right? Saying things are a little different. So, all right, this is a mix of different brown pencils, okay? Just a mix. It doesn't matter that immaterial of what it is. What I'm trying to do is match the paint to the pencils so that I am able to come in, and this needs to be shaken better, and paint over the top of just a little bit of the picture and the paint not show up. I've tried painting first and then putting down the pencil, and it has seemed like it just cracks the paint. So, oh, come on. My paint's kind of globby. Now, when painting, I have this palette knife. You can use a palette knife. You can use the back of a plastic knife. You can use anything you want to mix your paints. This is actually pretty close to this. See, I can move that right over the top. This is plastic that had stickers in it. Every now and then I just keep those so that I know that I've got something if I need it. Or I can actually do right on this mat. What I'm going to do is take this paint, scoop most of it off to the side. That just lets me know that that's my original color. So if you're mixing and you have an original color, scoop some of it away. Then what I'm going to do is dot right there. And as that dries, I'm going to see how good of a match it is or isn't. Now, paint dries just a little bit darker than what it goes on. And I have a brush here because once I start this, I want to be able to move fairly quickly so that my paint doesn't dry out. Also, a wet paper towel, damp, get it wet, get it really wet, and then dry it off. Or I keep a spritz bottle nearby because what happens is if the phone rings, I can lay this upside down on my paint, talk on the phone, come back, peel this off, and the paint's still moist because it's getting the moisture from here and not drying out from the air. So that's just a little tip if you're mixing your own. Now, this is almost dry. Some of it looks okay, some of it looks still a little light. So I am going to go over, and I believe that was this bottle, yes. So I'm going to grab another one of my dark browns. You don't want to mix in just black if you can help it. So what I used to teach painting, so I have tons of paints. And what I did at the end, I'm shaking a bottle of paint. What I did at the end of every season was I put all the extras that were similar in one bottle, shook it up real good, and put the new color on the front. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to put just a touch of this out. Always take your darker color and move it to your lighter color. If I try to put this in there, that is going to overtake it because it is so dark. So if I put some in here and mix, it just won't take as much. And I'm going to pull some more of that over. All right, now I'm going to take and I'm going to come in here and touch again. Make sure I've got that mixture. All right, we're going to let that dry. So this is color number 2. That is color number 1. And we're going to see. Take a photo that's laying here and try, well, I don't want to dry this, but I do want to dry that. So yeah, I have photos piled up of Evie waiting to be scrapbooked. That's how far behind I am. So yeah, I am making this video early. Tomorrow is Easter. And then the following Sunday is my birthday. Yes, thank you. So you're going to be seeing this after that though, I think. I think I've got enough videos done up that that's how it's going to work. So anyway, and when you look at your paint, if it is still shiny, then that means it's still wet. Okay? So just go in there and go at it some more. And I'm thinking between these two colors, I might be okay. If not, like I said, it kind of cracks as it, you know, if I try to color over it. So I could always just take and scrape it off. But I think that's going to be pretty good. So leave that to the side. Clean off my palette knife on a dry paper towel. I try to kind of keep things clean as I go because my room is like an 11 by 13 and it can get a whole lot of messy real quick. So this is the wet one. I'm going to lay that on the edge of the trash can in case I need it. Now, move that out of the way. So I am in Summer Nights. And what I'm going to work on is this area right here. Yep, I am going to try to get rid of that nose ring. One thing I did not do is I did not buff. You see how you see a little bit of streakiness and all here? Let's see how much of that disappears when I buff the page. It's still there, but see how smooth that looks? So yeah, it just means I'm still not all the way down in all the little valleys of the paper. So now I'm going to bring this back over here and I'm going to play with it. I am going to put the light way over here on it. Hopefully that won't mess you up too much, but I've really got to be able to see what I'm doing here. When I'm painting over something, I'm not going to paint all the way across the whole thing, and I will stagger the colors. So this is my original color. I'm going to come in and just get it on there. All right, and then I'm going to get some and put on the inner loop of that nose ring. Then I'm going to come over here to color number 2 and do some of this up here. Now I have heard that you can do colored pencil over a Posh pen. I do not have a Posh brand pen right now, so I cannot attest to that one way or the other. Now this is going to dry too dark. I can tell you that already. So what I'm going to do is just cover that ring up, and then I'm going to come over and open up another paint, squirt some out. I'll show you in just a minute. Just hold your horses. You're not going to miss any of this. Whoa, that was enough for everybody. Okay, so this is my new color. So I'm going to come in and just kind of mix it with it. Do you see how it's really toning it down? And I said I wasn't just going to go over that area, but guess what? I just did. And because paint dries a little darker, I still want to lighten this up a bit. And it will begin to dry pretty quick. I am in a room with lots of light on. I am under a ceiling fan. I'm in Texas. So take your surroundings into account as you're doing something like this. And then just like when I'm coloring, I am going to feather this out some. And then we are going to let it dry. Let's see, I'm going to pick up just a touch of that. Mix there. And do right there. Just because I needed a little bit more solid coverage there from where the paper was peeking through. And again, this is not perfect, but it does get rid of that nose ring for me. And I am still going to try to get a Posh marker. I'm waiting on a coupon, and I've just not been by the store. I cannot tell you the last time I went in a craft store. Nope, just cannot. It's been quite a while. Okay, now then, if I take you back, that's probably not looking the best to you. I'm sure my lighting is probably messing you up some, but that's really not real bad from where I'm at. Now, I can pick up just a touch of water, okay? I am going to actually tap or roll that around on here to help distribute that water. And just kind of pounce at the edges. Let's do it again. Sometimes I say be very afraid of the water, so sometimes I pick up so little that it just dries instantly. But what I'm doing is fading this out to match the rest of that page. Just fading that out. Oops, don't get it on the book. Okay, and then we're going to let that dry. So in the meantime, little bitty Dixie cup, solo cup rather, rinse my brush, and any cheap little brush will do, as long as you can get into those little bitty fine areas. And then I will take the one where I put too much paint out and put that back into my bottle, because even though I'm not painting as much and I'm not teaching it, I still don't want to just waste the paint. All right, lay that out of the way. Come back over here and let it dry. Just let it dry. Then, as I go back in and I blend more of this and get it smoother, get all that white out of there. Yeah, this is number 114, Burnt Sienna. I will tell you, I have been watching videos about the Castle Arts pencils, and they're saying for the color differences that are in the two kits, the regular versus gold, you're just as good to go ahead and get the regular. That's been the consensus of most of what I've seen. So I no longer have plans to get the gold. I am thinking about getting their pastels, not pastel pencils, but pastel colored pencils, just so that I have some really light colors. Okay, now let's see how that's doing. Okay, now that's dry. Now, what I'm going to do is come in here and lightly go over this. I mean, I am barely touching the paper because I know that, now I want to get that colored though. I know I could take this paint off if I went on it hard. So I'm going on just enough to get the top layer. But if I rub it, it's not going anywhere. So don't worry about it messing up in your book. Does that make sense? Okay, now I'm going to do it different directions. Okay, there you can see where it's more flat than shiny, and you can see where I've got some pencil on it. And that actually shows the matte versus the shiny, because if you look at it this way, it's just about the same color. So let's do the test of a photo. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to take my camera. You can do this anytime you're really wondering what a picture looks like or something on your picture. Take your photo and then go in and crop. So I'm going to crop this to where it looks like just a regular page so I'm not distracted. Save it. And now when I go in and look, that's what I'm seeing. So it did still come out, oh, wrong way. It did still come out a little bit dark. So I could come in here, let me try, do I try just a pencil that's laying here? Sure, why not, right? This is a lighter shade. Oh yeah, it is covering over, so that's good. And just lightly buff over that paint. Okay, so I think all in all, it's going to be okay. There's also another thing that you can do with your paints. You can do what's called a wash. And here are my original paints. And see, I did not lay anything over them, so they are already starting to dry up. I am going to grab another brush from over here beside me. I'm going to get it wet first. It's a pretty big brush, but that's okay. Now, did you see I just wiped it off? I'm not drying it, just wiping. I'm going to go in here and just get some. And then, you see me, I'm like, do I touch it? Do I touch it? I do want some of that water off. So I just touched it on there is all. Then I'm just going to come across and then dab it. And that just lightened that area some more. It's called a wash when you put another color over the top that has been watered down. Okay, and I'm really pretty happy with that. Again, you're seeing that a little bit different than I am, but the last one of these I ended up painting her whole face, and that just took a while. So I think this is going to be a better thing for me. And again, I can even come in here with the ones that are a little bit darker and go right up next to that so that they blend a little better. But once you get that paint to a fairly close color, then you can come in and go over it. Just go over it lightly, otherwise you're going to end up peeling up all that paint you put on. It's kind of like whiteout, except we're starting with the color we need. Okay? And I can just add some of this color around just to help it look a little bit more cohesive or like it belongs. Okay? And I don't know what I had told you we'd be working on next time, but anyway, we will get back to coloring in the next video. I believe I have a chocolate bunny to do. So, yeah, and I'll just keep playing with this until I get it as light as I want it. I could even come in with like a taupe or something, and I may try that. The other thing I could do is come in with a workable fixative and spray and then color over the top. Okay? That's something I guess I'll add to my list at the craft store, is some workable fixative. But there you see, her nose ring is gone, and I will go back and finish her up probably this next week one day, just sitting in front of the TV. All right, thanks for stopping by. I hope it at least gives you a little help and encouragement on covering up some of those things in pages that you really don't care for. All right? Okay, talk to you later. Bye. Okay, I'm back. I didn't plan on pausing, but I accidentally paused and came back and saw, oh, it's still on. So I have been sitting here just working with this pencil, with a couple of these pencils, just getting rid of the rest of that tooth. And I want you to see how much better she looks. Because when we left, she still looked just a little off. Okay? So I will keep working this, but I want you to see how much better once I got that white tooth part. See, all of this needs to be done yet, and her neck. Now, in case you were wondering, the colors I've been using, it is Castle Art, Van Dyke Brown 69, that's my darkest. Then my middle shade is 70, which is sepia. Okay, and then the lightest is number 114, Burnt Sienna. Now, I will tell you, this part of her face is lighter because it's showing full on. Okay, this side is darker. Right under the eyebrow, and the eye should be just a little darker because our face is overhanging that part, as the nose is overhanging here, the upper lip, and the upper lip is overhanging just a bit right there. Also, the neck, the chin is overhanging, so this top portion will be a little darker. It's going to be a little darker around the edges because that's where the hair is hanging out. Okay? So anyway, as you can see, I've still more to go, but she is looking quite a bit better. Next time we come on, I will go ahead and do that chocolate colored bunny, and I need to pull up and show you, well, let me just pull it up right now. This Daydreams book, as you recall, we were working on those flowers, and I finished, and the little butterfly, katydid, grasshoppers, whatever, little insects, so they're all finished too. There is quite a bit of glitter gel pen on this page. There you can see it on the blue-green one in the middle, the yellow and orange one. Let's see if we can catch the other two. All right, the body on the rainbow one. And I'm not catching the purple one. There's some right there on the purple one. And then all the lines coming down the petal parts of those flowers are also glitter gel pens, as are all those little bud bits. So fun page, just thought you might want to see how that turned out. Okay, so next time we're going to work on the chocolate bunny, and I will see you later. Thank you so much for hanging in there with me. We learned together. Okay, bye.